Hi, so my name is Sekai Edwards, and I'm a part of the Portland Student Union and a sophomore at Jefferson High School. So I just wanted to talk to you today about the role that the students played in the contract negotiations between Portland Public Schools District and the Portland Association of Teachers. Since I was about in the second grade, I've heard every couple years about contract negotiation or budget cuts. Some of this is because I am the child of a Portland Public Schools teacher, but most of this was because I watched year after year as my art classes were cut. I experienced countless times wanting to check out a book from the library, but was unable to because of only part-time librarians, or because I went from having gym to every day to having 45-minute classes every week. It's no surprise to us anymore when we face cuts. And for a while, when the nation and our households were struck by the recession, we were accepting, as we saw that there was no money that was able to go into the school. We accepted the cuts because we were told that everyone was tightening their belts, as communities were doing the same. But now, as we see the economy turning around, we realize that there is money and that there is a possibility to start rebuilding the communities and the neighborhoods. So when we came up on contract negotiations again and the district was playing the same tune about the lack of money, there was a different feeling from the community. We weren't standing for it anymore. We were done with this era of cuts and destructions to the public school system. The Jefferson cluster was tired of their schools being closed and stripped of the necessities. Parents wanted to see more arts restored in the schools and more teachers. So the teachers, the students, and the community were done. You saw an amazing amount of support from the community as they held rallies and press conferences. You saw student walkouts and stand-ups and sit-ins against the attack on their education, and you saw teachers stand their ground. The first action I was involved in was the Jefferson High School walkout, where over 250 students walked out from their classrooms in support of their teachers and to reclaim their school. When I first sat down at a Portland Student Union meeting, I was shocked that the amount of things that the students wanted to accomplish. I was intrigued by the amount of intelligent, like-minded students that I found myself around. Not kids wanting to be destructive or pats of Pat as we have been labeled, but truly working toward our education. Jefferson has been attacked by the media, the district, and the community, and as the students walked out, they showed that it isn't a school filled with hoodlums and gangs. We weren't skipping class or trashing neighborhoods, but we were standing up for our rights, our teachers' rights, and our schools' rights. The following Monday, when the Portland Student Union held a rally, many speeches were given by the community, students, and parents to get support for the teachers. After being time denied to speak at the meetings, the Portland Student Union walked into the board meeting and mic checked the school's Portland students deserve, which were class sizes less than 20, proper funding of the arts, more time with guidance counselors, student-teacher collaboration in building curriculum, rich, relevant curriculum, not Common Core, democratic process in the allocation of funds, restorative justice, funding for wraparound programs, support for all teachers, and no school closures. As we presented our demands to the board, they all, but Steve Buell, stood up and left the room, making it clear to everyone involved that they had no interest in what the students had to say. The demands were not outlandish or calling for the end of society as we know it, but for a real, working, helpful, and meaningful education. The Portland Student Union continued to show support for their teachers in returning to meetings and giving compelling speeches on what an education should really look like. We continued to hold rallies in support. Some of our members spoke out at press conferences in support of student struggles. We brought light to the student voice. We fought against the notion that teachers were greedy, just wanting more salary and better benefits, but really working for the students. As it looked like the teachers were going to have a strike, we had meaningful conversations on whether we believed it would be helpful or detrimental to the communities and families. But as we realized that not supporting a strike would be more detrimental, we rallied in support of the vote. We held simultaneous walkouts at Cleveland, Grant, Wilson, Madison, MLC, Lincoln, Benson, where over 1,000 students took to the Portland streets so that their teachers would know that we supported them in their decisions to strike. When the vote passed, the Portland Student Union spent hours preparing right next to the teachers for the strike, reaching out to food vendors and community centers for childcare, planning for a students on strike day, which would have been monumental. We were prepared for a strike, and we were prepared for a revolution. When the call came in that an agreement had been reached and the contract had been settled, we were overjoyed. Some hearts broken that we wouldn't have been able to have a students on strike day, but overjoyed. When we saw the contract, we were even more pleased with the resilience and the ground that the teachers stood for us. Not all of our demands were met. We did not get many of the things that we wanted, but we are ready as a union to keep working towards these goals. We have built a strong union through this work. We have built strong allies. As we move towards our next campaign, we will be calling for the support of the teachers and the community. We stand by our 10 demands and believe that these are what students need to learn. We believe that the next wave in education should not be the reform, but the revolution, and we are standing here to build that with all of you standing with us. Thank you.